Good afternoon. I want to welcome you all to the final stakeholder report for Carbonite Bikes. This afternoon, we have gathered here a collection of board members, shareholders, community leaders, and some of our employees I see out there. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gary Bagley, and I'm the president of Carbonite Bikes. And I have here today with me Stephanie Burgolzer. She's the vice president of marketing and business analytics. Jalen Oxley, who's our vice president of sales management, and Chase Dinkle, who's our vice president of manufacturing. And for those of you who don't know us, collectively, we are Carbonite Bikes. So a little bit about our company. We started making and selling bikes in our first store in Amsterdam and quickly moved to Bangalore. Our company did so well in those two areas, we opened up a company in Rio. Carbonite Bikes has a complete line of bikes for all biking enthusiasts. We mainly focus on our recreational bike, the Camino, and our speed bike, the Jaguar. Here you can see our market share results. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. Carbonite Bikes got off to a slow start in the first couple of quarters, which we were initially thinking that was going to be the case, which is a startup company. But as you can see, we didn't fare so badly overall. In quarter four, we were fourth overall, with just a little over 20% of the market share. In quarter five, we were third overall. And in quarter six, we were tied for second with right around 23% of the market share. So let's take a look at our market demand results. Here you can see in quarter four for the demand for our bikes was a little low, coming in at just over 1,000 units combined. But in quarter five, demand jumped for our bikes, almost doubled, as a matter of fact, coming in at just a little over 2,000 combined demand units. And in quarter six, you can see that we topped out around 2,400 bikes that were in demand for our company. Shifting gears, I want to talk a little bit about our demand and ill will. As stated before, you can see that our net demand is steadily raising. So little sales in the beginning, but you can see almost doubling there from quarter four to quarter five. And I'm happy to say that we have no ill will for our company at all, and it was steadily at zero for the entire historical significance of our company since its inception. So that number's not changed, and I'm happy to report that to all of you out there. I'm going to hand it over to Stephanie. She's going to speak a little bit about our profitability.
Okay, great. Thank you, Gary. So looking at quarter four, we did not make any changes to our design brands. We had three going into quarter four: the Annihilator, Camino 2.0, and the Jaguar 2.0. We did decide that we were going to look into R&D investment instead, because that became an available option. So we decided to invest in the carbon fiber material, which provided enriched, lighter, and stronger. The total cost would be $860,510. We spread that over quarter four and quarter five, with $430,255 coming out each quarter. We also chose to go with the handlebars that would do carbon fiber aerodynamic drop down. Total cost is $336,560. We decided to pay that in full in quarter four. And for the last investment, we went with carriers for the large mesh folding tote basket. That was a total cost of $90,962, and we paid that in full in quarter four. For brand judgment in quarter four, in the speed category, our highest brand rating in the entire industry was actually for the Jaguar 2.0, ranking a 80 out of 100. And then the Velocity bike was in second place with 76 out of 100. In the mountain category, Annihilator placed second with a 71 rating. And for recreation, the Camino 2.0 took the lead with a rating of 74. Then when we go into quarter five, Two of the R&D investments were available for modification. So we created and designed two new bikes. We had the Jaguar Pro. Just like the Jaguar, it has all the baseline aerodynamic components, but we added the carbon fiber drop-down handlebars with a design and modification of $30,000. And then the Camino Pro was designed just like the Camino with the baseline recreational components, but had the large mesh folding tote basket, costing at $30,000 for design and modification as well. When you look over at the profitability chart, Jaguar 2.0 was the most profitable with 446,800. But the Camino 2.0 made up 63% of our brand revenues. When we go into quarter 6, the carbon fiber material came to fruition. Because of the added benefit to our designs, we overhauled every one of our current designs and added that enriched, lighter, stronger material. That was a large investment for the R&D and also a large investment to overhaul each design. Each design at $30,000 each came out to be $150,000, but we felt it was necessary to put us ahead of the competition and keep in line with our goals. If you look over at the profitability chart, the Annihilator 2.0 took the lead in profits at $478,229. And the Camino Pro brought in 58% of our brand revenues. But if you look at all the other designs, they are pretty closely distributed throughout the other ones. So if we look at brand pricing and priority, in quarter 4, we kept our pricing and priority the same as previous quarters. In quarter 5, with the new designs of the Camino Pro and Jaguar Pro, we realigned our priorities and put those up at the top as 1 and 2. The Annihilator we put in the middle, and then the Camino 2.0 and Jaguar 2.0 followed behind. We did change the pricing around for the pros just because we had that R&D investment, and we felt like with those components, our designs were worth a little bit more. We did do some price rebates for our consumers. And then in quarter 6, we kept our priorities the same and just changed our pricing around a little bit based off of the feedback that we received from the previous quarter. And then if we look at advertising and marketing, with the marketing research that we bought for the quarter, we learned that the advertising in quarter 3 did not meet minimum requirements. So in quarter 4, we really looked over the requirements, and we also looked at our competitors' ads to learn what adjustments we needed. We decided to overhaul the Camino 2.0 ad and the Jaguar 2.0 ad with designs at $6,000 each. Media placement for Camino 2.0 was $25,000, and media placement for the Jaguar 2.0 was $24,000. We did invest in internet marketing for $6,000. And then in quarter 5, the marketing research provided suggestion again that the Jaguar 2.0 did not meet the minimum requirements. So we decided to revamp the Jaguar 2.0 ad, and that was another design investment of $6,000. Media placement, we changed that around a little bit at $18,500. We left the Camino 2.0 alone because it was doing well, but we did decide to add marketing for the other 3 brands that we had, the Camino Pro, Jaguar Pro, and Annihilator. Internet marketing for the quarter cost $58,450. Then in quarter 6, with the new R&D investment of the lighter material, we wanted to get that into our ads to draw more consumer appeal. So we invested in our marketing once again. You can see all the different areas that we placed it throughout the different magazines, and the internet marketing was 58,450 again. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Jalen, and she's going to talk about sales and manufacturing.
All right. Hi, everyone. As Stephanie said, we did keep 3 bikes in Q4, and that was a revenue of $1.3 million. In Q5, we did add 2 new bikes and revamp the Camino. We added the Camino Pro and the Jaguar Pro. This increased our revenue by $1.4 million. And then in Q6, it increased by another $1.5 million for sales revenue. We added 2 new salespeople in each location in Q5. We added another person who was specialized in recreation, as well as a person who was specialized in speed at our Amsterdam store. At the Bangalore store, we did add 1 new service person and also someone who was specialized in the mountain bike. In Q4, we did decide we wanted to open up a store. In Q6, we decided to open up the Rio store. It was a $90,000 setup cost, and the quarterly lease is $17,000. In Q6, we did keep the employees the same for the Amsterdam and Bangalore store, but since we have Rio, we did add 4 more employees. We had 1 specialized in service, recreation, mountain, and speed. And the total cost was $116,122 for that quarter. In Q4 and Q5, we did keep our annual salary at $20,000. Expanded coverage for health benefits and 1 week vacation. We did add a pension of 2%. In Q6, we decided to increase the salary to $20,500, and then keeping us at the expanded coverage, 1 week vacation, and 2% of the pension. So that $500 did drive our cost up. Not quite $1,000. So in Q5, we had 14 sales in service, and they were $1,000 each for the professional training program, which made our total of $14,000. We did have demonstration kits that were $50 each, and then we had a kit that expired in Q8 as well. So our total expenditures for Q5 was $18,700, and we did decide to do a cash bonus for the top third employees, and they got a $100 gift card for the top, and the others got a $50 gift card. In Q6, since we added more salespeople, we had to add $4,000 more worth of sales and training service. And then we did keep our cash bonus and for top third and gift for top third the same, except we did add that for the Jaguar Pro and Camino Pro as well. And I'm going to hand it over to Chase for the financials.
Thank you, Jalen. Moving on to into the financial standpoint of our organization, we're going to go over the past quarters 4, 5, and 6. So moving to the gross profit here, got our revenues, as you can see, moving up very nicely, going from 1.3 million, 2.7 million, up to $3,274,015. As you can see, the gross profit is going up very nicely, ending up from starting at 0 all the way up to $2,149,055. Now, as we take a look down here in the expenses, we have a lot over the past 3 quarters. So move all the way down to the advertising. So we kept it consistent, and going into quarter 4 was $61,000, but then decided to ramp it up a little bit more in quarters 5 and 6 at $129,116 for each one of them. And moving on to the store expense, as we kept it in quarter three, quarter four, we're again at 57,000, but then moving it up in quarter five to 147,000, and then 74,000 moving into quarter six. And then as you can see, the total expenses went very heavy here in quarters four and five at 1,308,868, and then 1,016,885, and then nicely down to quarter six with 622,745. So making our operating profit going into quarter six of 1,526,310. We have the miscellaneous income and expenses down here. You see income before taxes. We got in quarter six 1,530,810, and then it leads all the way down here to showing us our earnings per share. It's moved up nicely from starting off at in quarter four at -9 up to quarter five at 13, and then 18 here in quarter six. And then we got the cash flow. So you see the beginning cash flow for each quarter that we had. As it said, we started off at 1,349,685, all the way up to 4,135,067 in quarter six. And then again, we got some expenses down here, which is going to equal to our net operation flow. And as mentioned earlier, we had a lot of new expenses between quarters four and five, and instead of boring you with the same numbers, it's to show what we had here at the bottom when we ended up finishing with the net operation cash flow. And see in quarter four, it was not very good at all with -417,140, but we did rise up each quarter very significantly, rising up to just shy of 1 million at 958,486 in quarter six. Now I go to investment activities. And then for total investments, we didn't really do a whole lot after the first two, but then at the end, in quarter six of 240,000 right there, so it was nicely we put that back into it. And then move on down here to the bottom of it. We got our operating net operation here with and then we got it with total financial activities moving all the way to the end of quarter six of 4,853,553. On to the next slide. And their balance sheet and stock history. So you see in the past couple of quarters, we have kept a $300,000 deposit for 3 months each quarter. So we can keep that consistent from quarter three on to quarter six. And then the long-term assets, when we add that with our net fixed assets, our total rose all the way up to 6,163,553. Moving on to the next portion with our debt down here. As I said, no debt throughout the whole, out of all the quarters, is very nice to keep there. And with our equity, which is what we really, really wanted to hit home at with all the balance sheet information here. At the end of the sixth quarter, we did rise all the way up to 6,163,553. As you can see over here in the stock history in the top right corner, we did rise up significantly from where we had started at 15,000 shares all the way up to 25,000. Still keeping it at $100 per share, which would be 2.5 million at the end of quarter four. And move on to the bounce score as we compare ourselves to the other teams that are trying to fight along with us and moving higher and higher up in the bike companies here. And we did fare pretty well. We were at the top of the list in the strengths which were best for us, and market efficiency, our wealth was there as well, and financial risk as the rest of the groups. Now we did finish pretty solid with the rest of the groups, but as we can see that we did not have any show up in here in the weaknesses, which we really want to make sure that it gets pointed out as.
Well, thanks, Chase, and thanks, team. So looking ahead to quarter seven, the future for Carbonite bikes, we kind of plan to open a store in New York, continue to put money into research and development. We're going to add a new mountain bike, and we're going to invest in advertisements because we found that actually was very beneficial for us throughout the quarters. So what we've learned thus far in our experience here is that marketing research was a very good investment. It was worth every penny, as a matter of fact. Advertising was a little more difficult than what we had thought it would be. Trying to figure out what consumers wanted to see and hear, trying to please everyone, trying to make sure that we're advertising our bikes in the correct manner. Unfortunately, no matter what we did, during these quarters, it seemed that Bolt Bikes always was a step ahead of us. So competition was really rough, but we enjoyed these past quarters and look forward to a good future for Carbonite Bikes. And we appreciate your time and thank you for joining us.